The wind came first, before the image, before the memory. A small boat cut across seemingly calm waters beneath a fading sky. The world drained into near black and white. A 17-year-old captain held the wheel with youthful confidence, steering forward as the lake stretched quiet around him. Beside him, his father watched the horizon. Not the sky, the water. Captain saw only the surface, still water, no danger. But his father kept studying the subtle shifts beneath it, the hidden movement no one noticed at a distance. The boat pushed forward toward a band of low fog. The water around the boat changed. A dry scrape sounded beneath the hull. A shallow impact, controlled, but enough. The young confidence vanished from Captain's face. His father placed a firm hand on his shoulder. The lesson was simple. The lake was never what it seemed from afar. The closer you moved, the more it changed. Sometimes the difference between safety and disaster was knowing when not to get closer. Distance was strategy. The memory cut sharply. The sound of the forest replaced the lake. Back in the present, Captain stood motionless in front of a tree, holding a sensor module against the trunk, as if the past had frozen him for a second too long. Nearby, Brooks adjusted another device and noticed immediately. He called out, uncertain. No response. Only after a second did Captain blink and pull himself back into the moment. He took a breath, secured the sensor, and tightened the final screw. A soft confirmation beep broke the silence. Then the radio crackled. Walker reported in. His sector was complete. Captain answered at once, his voice steady again. Professional, controlled. Walker described irregular terrain, but nothing outside expected parameters. Brooks finished aligning his own equipment and confirmed synchronization on the portable display. Then another update came through the radio. Fog was beginning to descend. Brooks looked around the darkening forest and noticed it too. The air had shifted, cooler now, heavier. Captain packed the device away and made the decision. The first stage was complete. They were returning to base, Walker acknowledged, 10 minutes out. Brooks adjusted his pack, satisfied that the perimeter line was in place. The first layer of the operation had been secured. But before leaving, Captain looked back at the tree where he had mounted the sensor. For just a moment, something of the past still lingered in his eyes. A hesitation, a memory, a warning. Then he buried it. The camera stayed behind, on the tree, on the sensor, on the silence around it, as if the jungle itself were waiting for something to cross that line. Muddy clothes clung to their bodies, leaves pressed against fabric, sweat mixed with dirt on skin. They stepped into the base, slow, deliberate, each movement weighed down by exhaustion. Amelia's eyes flicked to the monitor, noting the time. The sun had barely risen when they had left the forest. Captain removed his gloves, fingers stiff, shoulders tight. Every glance he cast around the rooms measured, assessing, anticipating. Brooks followed close behind, quiet, careful, carrying the morning in every line of his posture. The soft clatter of equipment hitting tables punctuated the otherwise silent room. Papers shifted, monitors hummed. LEDs pulsed steadily. The air carried the scent of damp earth and the lingering humidity of the forest. Walker entered, loosening his backpack, posture relaxing slightly, but alert. Captain's gaze met his briefly, unflinching. Control remained. Observation never ceased. Amelia crossed her arms, half smile playing on her lips. noting small changes in the captain. Precise movements, measured breaths, a subtle steadiness that seemed different. She did not press, only observed. Night settled slowly over the base. Graphs on the monitors stabilized, technical silence filling the spaces. The satellite feed displayed the meteorite impact site. A slow zoom revealed preliminary data, patterns subtle, not yet fully understood, demanding attention. Brooks leaned closer, eyes drawn to the images, fingers brushing the controls lightly. Amelia switched tabs, compared, calculated, the room nearly silent. Every flicker carried meaning, every beep a signal to notice, to stay alert. Minutes passed. The weight of the morning lay in every movement, every exhalation. Walker's presence remained steady, a quiet anchor amid the hum of equipment. Outside the screens, the forest continued its rhythm. Sensors blinked in the darkness, green pulses steady, capturing every moment, recording, waiting. The camera drifted slowly over them, near and far, each one a silent witness. Then the light faltered. 1 second of darkness, subtle but disorienting. The monitors flickered, restarted. Power returned. Everything operational again. Amelia's eyes scanned the room, catching no anomaly. Recording notes silently, tension pressing just beneath her skin. Captain lay in his room, lamp flickering against the ceiling, shadows stretching, contracting. A book in his hands, the weight of the day settling into muscle memory. Every sound from the base carried slightly differently now. The forest invisible, but present in the mind. Amelia lingered at the monitors, scanning, listening. Nothing recorded, no alerts. Yet the stillness pressed heavier, as if the forest and the night had thickened around her. She reached for the communicator, dialing Leah. The screen stabilized, revealing a brightly lit urban environment, the world beyond the base starkly different, sharply contrasting with isolation. The conversation was careful, analytical. Amelia reported the sensor deployment, the brief flickers, the faint static. Leah offered measured explanations, micro-oscillations, environmental interference, fatigue. Amelia's posture softened slightly, the tension easing but not gone. A half smile lingered as the call ended. Amelia stared at the blank screen. The quiet remained, dense, expectant. Outside, the water was still. Small ripples appeared, subtle, deliberate, a hint that the calm could never be fully trusted. The night deepened, shadows lengthened, the forest and base coexisting in tense, quiet harmony. Morning arrived quietly. A pale layer of mist drifted between the trees, soft and low, as if the forest itself had not fully awakened. The sounds were different now, not silent, never silent, but restrained, muted beneath the weight of something unseen. Walker stood just beyond the base perimeter, motionless, his eyes fixed on the tree line. He did not look afraid, but there was a tension in the way he watched the forest, the kind that came from sensing something without understanding it. Captain approached from behind, steady and unreadable, his boots pressing softly into the damp ground. Walker did not turn immediately. The jungle held his attention for a second too long. Then the moment broke, and the day moved forward. Inside the base, Amelia was already at work. Layers of data overlapped across the monitors in pale, shifting colors. The final graphs from the night before remained open. Readings, patterns, minor fluctuations. Nothing outside acceptable parameters. Nothing that could be confirmed. Nothing that could be ignored completely. She reviewed each line with tired precision, her eyes slower now, carrying the strain of too little sleep and too many unanswered variables. For a moment, her hands stopped above the controls. Her gaze drifted to the map. She exhaled. Then the scene cut cleanly into the main room. Walker entered first. Kenji was already seated. Ethan stood near one of the side consoles, adjusting something on his tablet with the kind of focus that blocked out everything else. Captain remained near the wall, posture controlled, quiet, strategic. Amelia finished the final overlay and connected the primary map to the central display. The room settled into a technical silence. Then the monitor came alive. A three-dimensional model of the region rotated slowly above the table, built from the data they had gathered, precise, clinical, and still incomplete. Amelia began the briefing. She explained that the triangulation of the impact point had finally been completed. She, Ethan, and Kenji had finished the calculations the previous night. The digital model zoomed inward. The distance appeared on screen. 1.8 kilometers from the base. Closer than it should have felt. The terrain data layered in next. Dense vegetation, irregular elevation, natural barriers, and a steep section of unstable slope between them and the objective. The direct path was possible, but not safe, not efficient, and not something anyone in the room trusted at first glance. The mission itself was simple in theory. Reach the impact point, recover the meteorite, install additional sensors, and return to base. Simple objectives had a way of becoming complicated in the forest. Captain stepped away from the wall and moved toward the table. He placed both hands near the projection and rotated the terrain model, studying it from another angle. The room watched in silence as he traced an alternative path along the outer edge of the formation. A slower route, but one with fewer immediate risks. In terrain like that, distance meant little. The forest decided the pace. 1.8 kilometers through dense jungle could easily become 3 hours, maybe more.